Welcome. This is what I lovingly call the roll around on the floor routine. And it's a really nice way to get in the yoga practice when you're feeling tired, fatigued, or just a little burned out from your normal practice. And I've started my practice with a mat for the hardwood floor and then a blanket on top of that, because I know in my body, when my body is resting on the hardwood for a period of time, it gets a little bit uncomfortable. So if you do have some chronic pain, if you're dealing with some discomfort in the body, nice to have a little extra padding. And since we're not going to be getting up to standing, you don't have to worry about slipping. So make yourself as comfortable as possible. You'll also want to have a belt or a small hand towel or something nearby, just in case when you go to reach for your leg, when the leg is being stretched, you have something to make up the difference if your hamstrings are tight. All right, so let's begin on our backs. And I like to take a little bit of time with my knees bent, just to allow my low back that space to relax. Once I feel the body relaxing, then I can extend my legs and just take a few breaths. This here is a benchmark test. Just see how this feels to rest on your back on the floor. At the end of our practice, we'll return here. So take a little mental snapshot so that at the end, you have something to compare it to. Take a few breaths here, feeling the weight of your body against the floor. Any sensation of asymmetry, difference between right and left sides. Any feeling of numbness or vacancy. Any feeling of heaviness or lightness. And now slowly bring your feet underneath your knees and rest your hands on top of your belly. Feel your breath, lifting the belly on the inhale, and then exhaling, empty the belly. Now take one hand and see if you can slide it underneath your low back. You probably won't get very far, that's okay. When you inhale, arch your back away from that hand on the floor towards the hand on your belly. Your tailbone stays against the floor. As you exhale, flatten your back, moving your spine towards the hand on the floor. Go back and forth with your breath, slowly, cataloging how this feels in the various structures of your low back. Once you have the hang of that, then I'd like you to bring your arms to the floor, palms facing up. You might need to prop yourself up if there's any tightness across the chest. And then see if you can relax your head. So for the next few rounds, try not to look towards me, but look towards the ceiling instead. And feel how this rocking motion of your spine includes rocking the neck. So as you inhale and you arch your back away from the floor, you'll feel the chin being pulled towards the chest. And as you exhale and flatten your back towards the floor, you'll feel the chin release towards the ceiling. Right? See if you can make that happen organically without force. Do that one more time. This is such a great movement. And then after you complete your next exhale, just pause, feeling your breath and noticing any sensation in the low back, in the hips, the back of the hips, around the waistband. That movement is a great way to release tension in the low back and along the spine, but it's also wonderful to begin to circulate blood and lymph in the lower belly. And anytime we circulate lymph in one part of the body, we're circulating lymph throughout the whole body. So that's good news. Okay. Let's bring the right knee into the chest. If it's possible, can you reach your fingertips to the top of your shin and begin to circle your ankle around, feeling the muscles along the shin bone move? Can you spread your toes as you do this? Again, encouraging the circulation of blood and lymph, this time through the lower body. Now let's circle in the opposite direction. Okay. Extend your right leg up towards the ceiling, any amount. So this would be a good time, if the leg doesn't straighten out, this would be a really good time to put a belt around the bottom of your foot. And just hold the leg in place for a moment. Push against the belt and feel the stretch along the back of your right leg. Don't try to bring the leg towards your nose, even if you can. I just want you to feel a mild stretch there. Feel how the muscles around the knee need to contract slightly or firm up a little bit in order to stretch the back of the leg. Okay, now holding the right leg in place, take this left leg and extend it out. See how that feels on your low back. If that causes you discomfort in the low back, then re-bend that left knee. You can do this whole series with that down leg bent. If the down leg is straight, I want you to flex the down foot. Watch that this leg doesn't start to become slack. Keep it very active because you're working both hips here. All right, now we're going to take this right leg and move it to the right just a few inches. And I want you to take your left hand on the front of your left hip up near where the abdomen begins. So as the right leg goes right, notice that the left side wants to follow, but you're going to keep that left leg so firm so that nothing moves. And you really don't have to go very far with this right leg to start to feel some activity in the low belly. That's what we want to feel here. Yes, we want to get a little bit of a stretch along the inner thigh. That's going to be great to reduce fatigue. But we also want to feel as if our low belly is turning towards the left. And breathe. And feel. Oh, such a good pose. Okay. Supta Padangustasana. And then bring the leg back up. And let's release the right leg. Set the right foot on the floor. Set the left foot on the floor next to it and just pause and feel what's that like. Now we'll bring the left knee into the chest and circle the left ankle around. If it's possible, can you reach your fingertips to your shin? If that's not possible, you can always grab the back of the thigh. But just know that these muscles along the shin are working so hard. Spread those toes. And then go in the opposite direction. Okay, now we extend that left leg up. we're just going to see what the leg will do, because it could be really different on this side. We'll see what the leg could do. And then if it's necessary, take a belt around the bottom of the foot and push the foot into the belt. And just feel that mild stretch. Those of you who are really flexible, you might be able to bring the leg closer. That's not really the point here. We're looking at balancing the effort on the front of the knee with the stretch on the back of the leg. Okay, and then explore. Can the down leg straighten, or is that not going to be possible on this side? It's okay if it's not possible. Just feel. Keep that down leg active if it's straight. Keep breathing. All right. Then we're going to take both ends of the belt in the left hand as a preparation for bringing the leg to the left. And the right hand's going to go on the front of the right hip. So this right leg is super active. And then you start to drop the left leg to the left, pausing before the right hip turns with it. So you want to keep that right hip down, 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 down. And just pause before everything starts to topple to the left. And can you turn, or imagine you can turn the low belly towards the right? It may not look like a lot, but this is a lot of work. Okay. Bring the leg back up. Oh, such a great pose for reducing fatigue, reducing strain in the back of the leg, which contributes to low back pain, and supporting circulation through the lower body. So really good to do this routine at the end of the day, but not bad to do at the beginning too. So we come back to this position with the knees bent, hands resting on the belly. And I just want you to feel the low back, what that's like. Okay. Now we're going to roll onto the left side. And we're going to work with an arm position here to stretch open the left armpit and chest area. So first thing I want you to do is see if you can reach your left arm directly away from your left shoulder. So some of you might be able to get the armpit all the way down to the floor, almost like your left arm was the arm of a clock pointing towards 12 o'clock. Some of you might not be able to do that. So if that's not happening for you, what you will do is roll up your blanket and set that blanket roll underneath your armpit so that you create a little bit of height for you. Once you've made your 12 o'clock arm position as best you can, then bend your elbow and put your head in your hand. This right hand is on the floor in front of your chest. You're going to push into the right hand, pick the chest up, and just gently nudge it forward. What we're going for here is to feel that stretch in the armpit and the chest area. So pectoral muscles, there's a whole bunch of muscles here that are related to the circulation of blood and lymph and of nerve endings along this whole channel, this whole intersection. So just feel that. Okay. Then from there, you still have your head in your hand. From there, I want you to bring this right leg up towards the ceiling. Okay. If you can easily catch hold of the foot, go ahead. If not, you've got your handy dandy belt to catch hold of the foot. And the right leg is straight. You want that right leg very active. Now just do a little check. How's your left elbow scooted forward? Make sure that left elbow is still pointing towards 12 o'clock. Okay, here comes the fun. Extend the down leg so that the left foot is pointed towards 6 o'clock. And that's where you get wobbly. So you can keep the down leg a little bit bent to support you. But if you want a challenge, you can straighten it. And you're trying to rest directly on the left side. Not on your butt, not on your belly, but directly on the left side. And the whole time you're pushing that right foot up towards the ceiling. Okay. And then release, bending the left knee, the down leg again. Bring that right foot to the floor. And then bend the down leg. Well, they're both down legs now, but let's bend the left knee and see if you can hold the foot with your right hand. Okay? Now, the more you rotate your belly towards your right leg, this leg, so the more you turn your belly towards me, the more you'll be on your left thigh, the front of your left thigh. That's the stretch we're going for here. See if that's possible. And then we'll release, extending the down leg, which is your left leg. If you do have this blanket underneath you, you're going to slide it out. Use it for your head. We're going to catch hold of the right leg with the belt in the left hand and roll to your back so that you're in a twist. If that's too much on your hips or your back, just bend this knee. See if you can get your right shoulder towards the floor. Maybe you extend your arm out, maybe you don't. You can always put your hand on your rib cage if that feels better. Just take a few breaths. And then roll back onto your left side, bending both knees, and then using your hands, push yourself up. We're just going to swing around to the opposite side. So, we started with that stretch for the armpit. Now we're on the right side armpit. So you may need to have your blanket roll, or on this side, maybe it's different. So you're going to check it out by extending right arm towards 12 o'clock. We've shifted our clock, yeah? Towards 12 o'clock. And just see how far down you can go. Maybe you can go all the way to the floor on this side. Maybe you still need the blanket roll. Once you've got that position figured out, head in your hand. Left hand now is on the floor in front of your chest, and you're going to walk your chest a little bit forward. Just feel that stretch. And you might not be feeling much if you're more flexible on this side, so don't worry if it's very mild. Okay. Now we go to extend that left leg up towards the ceiling, either taking hold of the foot or lassoing the foot with your belt. And you're pushing into the belt with your foot. That leg is super active. Okay, now the down leg goes away from your right elbow. Maybe it straightens, maybe it doesn't. And you're breathing. And you're trying not to roll. Push up with that top leg. Push up, push up, push up, breathe. This is called Anantasana. And it's another really great pose for battling fatigue. Okay, now we're going to slowly bring the leg down. So now it's the left leg that's extended. The down leg, the right leg, is going to bend. We're going to reach back for it with the left hand, I think. See if you can roll your belly towards that extended leg, maybe even towards the floor. As you pull that right foot in, you'll get a nice stretch on the front of the thigh. And then release. And we're going to take this blanket roll, if you have it, we're going to shift it up a little bit for the head, and then come down, grabbing hold of the belt with your right hand this time, roll towards your back, And just feel what part of this twist is available to you. Remember, you can always bend this left leg if that's easier on your back or your hip, and you can always bring the left hand to the rib cage. And you're going to breathe and release. Okay, and then go ahead and let go of the belt, slide it off to the side, and then roll onto your back. Start with the knees bent. Just feel what it's like in the body now. And then as it feels appropriate, you can extend the legs. If that doesn't feel appropriate, then you keep the knees bent. And just notice the weight of your body against the floor, the left side versus right side. Any areas of numbness or vacancy, any sensation of discomfort, any place of fatigue or ease. Notice the overall circulation through the body. Take one more breath here. And then as you're ready, bend your knees. Carefully roll to your side and push yourself up. And we end with gratitude.